feels like I've been scraping on this frame for a year. This has really sucked. I'm bare metal now. Everything looks nice. I've got the front down to the metal. It's super neat. And this is the next step. I've got alcohol. I'm gonna wipe on it with a Scotch-Brite. This is just to clean it beforehand. I like doing this just to get the residue. I use the diesel to get the wax off of it. So I'm gonna Scotch-Brite this to give it some type of adhesion for the etching primer that I'm gonna use. Etching primer is a Sim etching primer. That's some really good stuff. It's aerosol can. It's kind of expensive, but it's really good stuff. And then I'm gonna hit it with this. This is some cheap stuff just to give me a base to lay over so that it's a dark color, so that when I spray the black that I have chosen, it's a black not metallic. It has a little bit of flake in it. Yes, it's aerosol can. It turns out very well if you do it coated properly. It'll lay down nice and smooth. You can put a clear coat on it, like a 2K clear, and it'll look just like a automotive paint. So that's the plan that I have for it. I'm gonna do the front section here. The fender liner comes down to about right here. It's gonna cover this, but I'm gonna end up painting all that anyways, and then paint all of this as well. So I have planned to use this for pretty much all the frame that I'm needing to do. I'm gonna cut it in little sections. I usually use like one of these razors, Alpha razor. They work really well. The Alpha ones are kind of my favorite because I can cut little stuff, but I'm running out of razors. I got to get some more. So I'm just going to use it for this. I'll put it on the ground usually with a piece of wood. Do it in thirds. So when you cut it, it's nice and square. And then what you do is you get the alcohol, spray this down, spray the area. All you're trying to do is get the metal to get slightly scratched up so that when you put the etching primer, it'll have something to adhere to. This alcohol is going to take any of that grease, any of that diesel that was on there without getting to have to worry about getting a chemical that's too abrasive. It's not like you're going to hurt the metal. You just sit there patiently, scrub. You'll see some stuff coming off. Like I got little pieces of the black stuff coming off. It's little pieces of it. You're just trying to get all that off so that whenever you do etch prime it and you do spray this with paint, it's going to look nice and slick. No, I'm not wearing gloves. I'm not soaking this. I'm just getting it damp enough to take the residue off of the frame. And then I got a microfiber. Let me show you what it looks like. When you get up close and personal, it takes everything off. You see that right there? That's what you don't want. So I don't want that. I'm going to take this, spray it, get my Scotch-Brite, scrub it lightly. Okay, we're going to get the microfiber towel again. There we go. That's what you want it to look like. Bare metal. So this right here is nicely scratched up and has some adhesion so that when I etch prime it, it's going to lay down nice and neat. That as well. This looks really good. The fender liner is going to come here, but why not spray it? Yeah, to make it look really nice. You won't even see any of this. I just want to get it straight. This I'm going to end up spraying the glass cleaner that I had, and that's gonna take a lot of this dirt and trash out of here. I really don't like using alcohol on those because it's really hard to clean them. But the best way to do it is take this stuff right here. You just spray it, soak it down, let it sit for just a second. You're gonna see it foam, foam, foam. It sits there. And then you take this, cleans it up pretty well. The best way to do it is to put a brush in between here. Brush it out. I'll get a brush here in a second. You can't put too much of this either, it's not going to hurt it. You can already see a difference on how much cleaner that is. That's the clean side, that's the dirty side. But you get the idea. Here the next little bit, I'll have this looking brand new. And then whenever all this is painted up here, all this stuff, this will look really nice. I'll end up painting this. I got to put the new tie rod in for the lift so that this will screw straight and be able to be aligned properly. But that'll be the next step after the frame. Once I get it on etch primed, I'll end up cleaning this up while this is drying, and then I can make that look like it needs to. That's the way it's supposed to look right there. Slick. Got the bottom done too. The bottom is done. Super neat. That should be perfect. I got a lot of scratches in all of this from the Scotch-Brite, so when I etch it, it's going to stick very well. If you feel it, I mean, it feels it's very dry. You don't want it to be wet or slick. The term I'm trying to use is, it has abrasion. You can feel that it has tension. And now I just rubbed it. I gotta re-clean it. There we go. So I got the etching primer on the frame. It laid down really nicely. I'm about to use this. This is the flat black paint that I'm going to use to give it some color, make it black. And then this will be after this flashes. One coat of this. I'm going to do 2 coats of this so that I can get a good coverage. And then the metallic, whenever I lay it down, I can make sure that there is an even coat all the way across the frame so that it's not splotchy or anything like that. Just trying to make sure I have enough coverage so I don't have to worry about rust or anything like that coming back on it. And this is where the coverage is going to be great. This is flat black, lays down real nice. It lays down flat so that when this is over the top of it, it sets really, really smooth and it looks as if it's clear coated. This is kind of an all-in-one, and we'll see how it goes. I just got the flat black on the truck. It looks good. The frame looks really, really good. I'll show you what I'm working with. It took a little while because I had to lay it down nice and even. I went over it a couple times on the first coat just to lay it down and get full coverage, and it ended up doing perfect. Nice and even coverage all the way around. It looks super, super good. Front and back look the same. It's nice. So I had a time lapse of all the painting that I had did. It was going to be at the end of this video. And whenever I was downloading the files, it deleted all of them. So unfortunately, I don't have those. But there will be pictures of what I have. So it sucks, but it happens.